All right, folks, it's a brand new year, so I just want to do a quick video explaining to you some important things to review if you're involved in agriculture. So whether you're running a poultry operation, a cow-calf operation, if you're a custom farmer, I wrote in my handy dandy spiral here 5 things I think are very important as a insurance professional to make sure you have on your ag policy. Number 1, I want you to make sure you review all of your scheduled equipment. So that means if you have tractors from last year, if you have shredders, cultivators, any kind of scheduled equipment that may be on your policy. Because what I've found is a lot of people, you might sell something that you sold last year, or you might have acquired something that you paid cash for and, forgot to add to the policy. So very important, if you have any new equipment, make sure to add it to your policy and review last year's to make sure you don't need to delete anything on your policy. That's number 1, is your scheduled equipment. Number 2, properties. So that's going to mean, have you built any new barns this year? Have you built any new sheds, any new water pump houses, or anything like that? Any new properties need to be added to your policy. Now, what I found is a lot of times, a lot of these ag insurance carriers, they will give you a limit of time that you can add new things to your policy. So if you basically had a claim, 10 days after building a new barn, there are some endorsements there that you can have some coverage. But better safe than sorry. If you have any new properties, make sure you list it on your policy that you may have forgotten to add to there. The third thing that I want to discuss is business income. It's kind of overlooked a lot of times, honestly, but if you have any kind of property, business income should be discussed, especially in agribusiness. An easy example is if you're running a poultry operation and a tornado comes through and takes out 4 of your poultry houses, you lose income because you lost birds. And a lot of times you don't own the birds. Usually you don't own the birds if you're with an integrator, but you lost income, and that's how you make money. So business income is very important, and also review the waiting period. Sometimes you'll see it can be 24 hours, it can be 48 hours, it can be 72 hours. So make sure to review the waiting period for that, because that can also play a part in the compensation you'd receive from the insurance company. Number 4, I want to discuss equipment breakdowns. If you have any kind of controllers, fans, anything mechanical that can break down, make sure you have that on your policy. And honestly, folks, this is super inexpensive. I've seen a lot of times this can be like $100 a year to add to your policy. So, if you have something that breaks down, and it may not even be due to a storm sometimes. It could be to power surge or something. Make sure you have that on your policy, because it can compensate you and help protect your profits if you do have some equipment that's breaking down, especially fans, like I said, anything mechanical. And it can vary from each operation. But I'll say if you're poultry, and your fans break down and birds die. That's an easy example. If you're in agribusiness and something where it break down that provides electricity for you to do business, that's another easy example for that too. So anything that has property, you can have that endorsement on your policy, and it's super inexpensive. The last thing I want to discuss, number 5, is livestock mortality. A lot of your standard insurance carriers, yes, they will insure your livestock for, fire, lightning, tornado, for example, but a lot of them don't cover it for illness if they eat, contaminated feed, or if they just die due to illness or sickness and stuff like that. So make sure you have that policy in place. And I'll say, honestly, 95% of the time, insurance carriers do not have livestock mortality on the policy. It's usually a separate policy. And depending on what you're doing, if you're running cow-calf operation and you want to insure some mama cows, it's really not that expensive, just depending on, it also does depend on where you're at. Also depends, are they, commercial cows, are they show cattle? There's some variances in there. But a good thing to look at, especially if you have some higher value cattle, registered cattle, it's a good thing to look at. So those are 5 things that I have for you to review this year. If you're involved in agriculture, take a look at your policy, sit down with your insurance agent first of the year, make sure all these things are lined out, because at the end of the day, we all know margins are tight in agribusiness. And so if you can do anything that's simple like this to protect your profits, you should definitely do that. So y'all have an amazing day. My name is Terry Moore, MFI Agency. If I can help you with your insurance needs, if you're involved in agriculture, we specialize in that. So y'all have a great day. Keep farming. Bye-bye.